Now here we have the founder of Quant, Gilbert Verdian, giving a seminar on the Quant cryptocurrency, giving his thoughts on the currency, on what it's actually providing, the value it's bringing, and how well it can actually end up doing. I've been giving you my honest live reaction and also explaining this whole seminar to you. And also if you go down here, I feel like this comment sums up the video and this reaction really. In general, I can't believe this video only has 6,000 views. The importance of this company with the token QNT is revolutionary and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He's of course talking about the Quant token, which Gilbert Verdian is the founder of. And at the moment, Quant is sitting at $111. Total supply of just 12 million. Compare it to other tokens, other competitor tokens like XRP. This is an extremely low circulating supply. The token and the price here, you can see the chart, really bullish looking chart. And at the moment, it has a market cap of only 1.3 billion. For the value Quant is bringing, it is extremely low, especially in the micro scale. With that being said, I'll be giving you my live reaction to this seminar. And without wasting any more time, before we actually get into it, if you haven't seen my last video, we also, reacted, give you a live reaction to this interview to Gilbert Verdian, giving his reaction and thoughts to Quant alongside the vice president of Ripple XRP, James Wallace. But yeah, if you want to check that out, link to it will be in the description. But yeah, let's react to this seminar.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, actually. It is evening. So my name is Gilbert. I am wanting to talk to you about Overledger. So we've created...
And by the way, I want to just say that this video was from 4 years ago. So really in the early stages of Quant, if you look back at it, really early stages of Quant when he first initially launched, this was one of the first, let's say, public appearances.
This is a problem that we all have. And if you look at what the problem is, we've had this issue before with the internet. So Overledger, we've created a blockchain operating system that lives on blockchain. And it's not a blockchain. So if I just introduce us, so my background has been about 20 years in cybersecurity, working in banking, financial services, and government. Paolo, he heads up the Center for Blockchain Studies at UCL. So he's very...
Now, one thing I want to say, by the way, and this is really important as we actually continue with the video, is the fact that Gilbert Verdian, the founder, and also some of the other team members over in Quant, these guys have been in both ends of the scale when it comes to centralization and decentralization in the financial system, decentralized finance and traditional finance. Gilbert has been working in the Bank of England as a treasurer. I'm pretty sure he'll obviously talk about it in a second, which obviously is a big deal. And of course, this also has been talking about Bitcoin all the way back in 2008 while in the Bank of England. And there's a lot of team members that have been around in the crypto space for a long time. So yes, Gilbert Verdian is one of those guys that have been around the space for a very long time while also being in the traditional finance space, in the banking, the world also alongside, which just makes this so much better, especially as a leader in such a company.
Very prominent. A lot of people know him in the space. And Colin, he's a cybersecurity guy as well, working in AI and cybersecurity. So we came together, between the three of us, there's about 80 years of experience. So we consider
80 years of experience, right, in the financial sector and also in the blockchain. And if you look down here, we've got some companies they actually previously worked with. Of course, the HM Treasury, the UK government. You can see here HSBC, major international bank. You got PB there, LSW, Vocalink, BT, Vocalink again, NHS, the Nationwide, another bank in the UK, High Street Bank, UCL. So many major companies, the Deutsche Bonds, are so many major companies, which is just insane. It gets better and better with Quant, in my opinion. But anyways, sorry for pausing so much. Let's continue.
As one of the best blockchain enterprise teams that has come together in the world. So if I tell you a story, so my introduction to blockchain and Bitcoin was in 2009. Did anyone buy any Bitcoin in 2009? Because I didn't. No. So it was 0.0005 cents. So I was working at the Treasury, the UK's Treasury, which handles the economic aspects of the economy, as the CTO. So I spoke at a conference like this, which was just government, and I said, we need to look at Bitcoin. Has anyone heard about it here? No one knew anything. 2009. So then I got the policy guys in my department to do a paper on it, and the assessment came out that Bitcoin will never have any material impact to the UK's economy. And we're going to...
let's just say they've got that wrong. They've got that wrong because now they're going to try to revolutionize the whole financial system around what Bitcoin was for, really, their blockchain. And yeah, with the CBDCs and stuff. But yeah, they got that wrong. It's just insane how everything comes around after like a whole more than a decade. Pretty insane.
Leave it like that. And that was 2009. So fast forward to 2014, I was working in healthcare in the Department of Health. I had an issue where health records were all over the place and I couldn't connect them together. So what I thought of was, you know what, blockchain can solve this. It's a good use case to solve it. So I ended up solving it for healthcare, for the department. But at the same time, the ISO people said, can we turn this into a standard? This is a really good idea. So I ended up founding TC307, which is the ISO standard for blockchain. So now we have
that is insane, right? He found the ISO standard for, I mean, that is insane, boys. I'm sorry for stopping so much, but that is incredible, right? I didn't even know about this, right? This is my first reaction, so yeah, that's crazy.
46 countries working together to solve blockchain, and that includes privacy, security, reference architecture, terminology, interoperability, governance, use cases, smart contracts. So 46 countries are all working together to solve blockchains, and the next meeting is in London in a couple of weeks in May. So I wanted to talk to you about networks, and if you look at this diagram, this was done in 1964. So an organization called RAND, they said, this is what networks look like. This is how they actually work. So telecom networks are what we used to have. A central body, you connect into it, you make phone calls. Then we had decentralization when the internet happened, and that was around 89, early 90s, and that's when the internet created a connection of other networks.
And that's really what's going to happen really in the blockchain, but this time with finance and just a completely whole level of decentralization, right? You know, we're going from Web 2 to Web 3, a massive change. I don't think many people realize on how big of a change it's going to be, as we have not exactly seen it. We're just hearing about it, but I think hopefully it puts into words. But yeah, let's see.
Internet. And then 2003-ish, we had peer-to-peer. BitTorrent, Napster,
them days.
Connected to each other to do transfers.
Those were the good days.
The Starfish network. And then something happened. So 2008, the Satoshi paper came out. It was late 2008, 2009. And that changed quite a lot of things. And one of the biggest changes is it created the mechanism of distributed ledgers. And distributed ledgers are where the internet is going. We're all on that journey. In 2018, we are on the journey to create a new internet, and it's the internet of trust. And it's happening already.
And that's the crazy thing, right? You know, we're talking about the internet of trust, and that's obviously the crypto and the blockchain, but right now the trust in crypto is in an all-time low. There is only some tokens that you can actually trust. The most transparent ones out there, the ones that are actually providing utility, $1 billion of utility that the market cap actually translates for. Quant is one of them. You know, XRP is there. Of course, we've got some other tokens, XLM and so on. There's some tokens there that make sense, and Quant is one of them. And it's one of those tokens that I trust the most. It's not the fact that it is my favorite or not. It's just the one I trust. That's really all it is. It's just trust, and it makes sense. The market cap makes sense. The valuation makes sense. The token makes sense. The utility makes sense. You know, it just makes sense.
So what is the internet of trust? And if you think about it, the original internet was a closed network. It was
indeed
a few nodes, universities, governments, military, connecting to each other. If something funny happened, you can actually ring up the person on the other node and say, what are you doing? Because your computer is doing something really weird, or your network is doing something really weird. But then the internet grew, more people started using it, and we didn't know the people using it. It grew to a mass scale, and then the internet became untrusted. So we can't trust anyone on the internet because we just don't know them. So to do that, we've actually created a cybersecurity industry, which is where I come from. We've protected each other from each other. Because
right, guys, that is pretty much the end of this video. I'm going to be making 2 other videos reacting to the other 5-minute parts, but that's the value we got from it so far. We got to learn about the founder himself, where his background is, where he actually came from, and really get the idea of what Quant is about. You know, Quant just didn't come around for no reason, trying to jump into the bandwagon. No, these guys have been around for decades, right? 80 years of experience behind them. You know, in this industry, they solved problems like these in the past. You know, he solved ISO for, you know, healthcare while I was working. There's so much experience that goes into this. I'm going to be reacting to the next 10 minutes on how Quant came about in the next video. Subscribe and hit the bell in the Crypto Maxi channel so you do not miss it, boys. We got so much value to go through, and it's time to really just, you know, learn about these tokens like Quant and just accumulate them as well. That's what I'm doing. I'm not telling you to do it. It's not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing here, boys. All right, cool. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It's been your boy Crypto Maxi. I'll see you guys in the next video.